How does the club move during the swing? That's a question that I get all too often. And I always say that the club moves according to the position of your body. Now, when you see golf tips and golf instruction, they're always telling you how to move the club. How's that working out for you? Are you consistent? You powerful? Do you really play up to your golf expectations? Or do you feel a little disappointed almost every time you leave the golf course? And it's because focusing on how the club moves is not how you make the club move properly. How does the club move? I always say the club moves according to the position of your body. If I stand in this position here, I can't help but have the club work on this path. That's an inside-out swing path that descends down to impact. So how the club moves isn't by trying to control the movements of the club. How the club moves is from your setup position. And this is true of any setup position. Your setup position right now, that may be a traditional setup position that would be considered more neutral. How the club is going to move is based upon this position here. Well, since you're trying to make a proper swing path where you get the club inside out, now you have to start manipulating your body in order to make this happen. I don't. I just get to stand in this position, hold still, and let the club work around me. That's a way of getting the club to work for you. Now here's the fun part. This is true of all coordination and athleticism. The pros don't focus on the movements of the club throughout the swing. Definitely not as much as what the golf tips and what golf instruction might suggest to you. You see, I believe that traditional golf instruction describes or defines the movements of the swing, but they don't tell you how to make it happen. You see, that's the hard part. That's why you're coming up disappointed. It's because you're trying to make something happen from a position that is very difficult. Instead, think of it this way. The club moves according to the position of your body. You know what? When Michael Jordan shoots a free throw, his arms move and the ball moves according to the position of his body. Because he stands in this position, he can't help but have the ball work in that manner and his arm work in that manner. That is the nature of how to control your hands and arms. It's by setting a position that your hands and arms can move around. That's when your hands and arms are most comfortable. And I want you to pay attention. When you watch, golf always talks about movement, movement, movement. But when you watch other athletes do remarkable things, especially in this day and age where we get to see this hyper slow motion, you're going to see so much stillness within their core while they might be throwing a ball, or while they might be hitting a slap shot, or while they might be running even. You're going to see this core stay very still while the appendages move around that core. Well, that's all we're doing in the swing. I'm presetting a position so that my hands and arms will work on an inside-out swing path and deliver a descending strike upon the ball. Now, given that concept, it should make sense why you struggle with the game. If you start in a traditional setup position where you're neutral, you're basically set up to hit the ball fat and to hit the ball with a slice. And that's why that's one of the more common things that happen for you. Instead, set into position where you can hit a solid, powerful shot that flies in a draw ball flight. That's the most efficient way to get the ball from A to Z, A to B. So how does the club move? The club moves according to the position of your body. The less you talk to your hands and arms, the better your hands and arms are going to move, because then they will just work naturally according to the position of your body. But if you start trying to talk to them and move them and do things with them, you're going to override the whole system, and you're probably going to accomplish what you're trying to do. You're going to move them in a manner that you're intending to move them, but it doesn't create good golf. Instead, get to the core of the matter, the root of the matter, the common denominator. If I stay still in this position, I can't help but hit good shots. And that's how the hands and arms move.